Alright, so the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth hype train is very quickly approaching its station, and with that, a ton of reviews for the game have dropped, and also, unfortunately, physical copies of the game have been leaked out early. So we're going to very quickly discuss that stuff in today's video, but have no fear, there will not be any spoilers. But if any of this sounds cool to you, feel free to click the like button, and if you're new here and you'd like to stick around, you can subscribe. It is always appreciated. So starting off first with those reviews. The review embargo for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth has lifted an entire week before the game's release, and that's a very good sign. Whenever companies decide to lift the embargo early on something, whether it's a TV show or a game or a movie, that shows that that studio and company are completely confident in the product that they're putting out, so much so that they allow people to put out their opinion pieces in reviews early. So that's a very good sign. And looking at the review score for Rebirth on Metacritic, it's currently sitting at a 93 as of recording. Now, it did debut at a 94, but as most aggregate websites work, most reviews come in, you get a specific number, and then that number usually will go down. And if you look at the critic split for Rebirth, it's currently sitting at 115 positive reviews. There's no mixed, there's no negative as of recording, which is pretty astonishing. So for Rebirth to launch with a number like this, with this kind of enthusiasm, is incredible. Now, very quickly, we're going to jump over to VGC and look at their headline, because they are saying that Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is currently the second highest scoring Final Fantasy in the history of the franchise, just sitting right behind Final Fantasy IX, which I believe has a review score of 94 on Metacritic. And this is awesome. Now again, this is Metacritic. It's not the end all be all. It's an aggregate website which takes a bunch of reviews, throws them together, and then spits out a number. But what this is saying is that seemingly everyone who's played Rebirth so far and reviewed it really likes it and don't seem to have that many issues with it, which is a really good sign. So I'm crossing my fingers that Rebirth comes out great, and when we all play it, we all enjoy it, we have a bunch of fun. I hope that everyone loves it. You know, I want to sit down and play a game from beginning to end and not feel like it's a chore or feel like I'm not having a lot of fun. So this is very good news, and that's where we're going to stop with the reviews. I'm not going to read any more headlines. I'm not going to look at the little blurbs that they put on Metacritic that people are saying in regards to the game, how they give like little summaries of what they thought of the game. I'm not going to read any of that because I don't want anything that I read to color my anticipation or expectations for this game. And I don't want that for anyone watching this video either. Now, moving on to some unfortunate news, and that is physical copies of Rebirth have leaked early. I think it might have actually happened last week or over the weekend. Some of the physical copies of the game made their way out into the wild, which is one thing, but allegedly there are some people out there playing through the game early, and they are detailing everything that is happening within the story chapter by chapter. So whether you're browsing on Reddit, Twitter, I don't know if people still use Facebook or Instagram, what have you, whatever your platform of choice is for social media, YouTube especially, you got to be super careful on YouTube. Be very careful about where you're browsing, what you're clicking on. It might be wise to mute the words Final Fantasy VII in Rebirth just to avoid having any of that stuff come up, because with the game being out there early, spoilers are bound to get posted on websites, whether they're screenshots or detailed paragraphs or even full-on videos. And that's another reason why I want to avoid reviews, is because some people put spoilery photos in their reviews, and sometimes they mention a big story point in their review, not really thinking much of it. So you got to be very careful when it comes to this stuff, but needless to say, those copies are out there. Be very vigilant about what you're watching and what you're browsing. And last but not least, this is the point where most people are going to click away from the video, which is cool. But I just want to say thank you to everyone who's been checking out my channel over the past year plus. There's been so much interest when it comes to Crisis Core, Final Fantasy 16, FF7 Remake, and now Rebirth. And so many people have come to my channel to get info on these games or talk about the, you know, interviews with the developers and with some of the cast. And it's been so cool to see like the numbers on my channel grow and see people actually talking to one another and having civil conversations and just being genuinely excited for this game to come out. It's been super cool. I've made some massive strides here on the channel with my content, which is absolutely insane. And today, February 22nd, when I'm recording this video, marks my 2nd year anniversary that I came back to YouTube, and I've been uploading at least one video every week for 2 years straight. I haven't missed a single week. So some of those weeks it was 1 video, sometimes it was 2, sometimes it was 4. Some rare occasions it was 7 videos a week, but I didn't miss a single week. And that was a goal that I had for myself. So maybe now after this, instead of trying to do 3 years straight, maybe I can kind of take some time away from the channel just for a little bit, not be so obsessed with having to have an upload every single week, and maybe just kind of give myself some downtime to experience Rebirth and have some fun, and then we can come back to the channel and discuss it as a community, the things we liked, the things we didn't like, if there's any cliffhangers to the story, big story points, all that great stuff. Should hopefully be a ton of fun. And with Rebirth coming out, this is probably also going to be the time where a lot of you bounce away from my channel. I know most people are going to be playing the game, so they don't want to really watch any videos on it or even read maybe interviews with developers or the cast. So I fully expect a lot of people to just kind of stop coming to my channel and stop watching the content, which is to be expected. You know, we've built up so much hype around Rebirth, and now the game is going to come out. So there's going to be a little bit of a lull period once the game does come out. So I fully expect views to go down and most people to leave the channel, but that's kind of normal when it comes to YouTube. That it's to be expected pretty much for the most part. So with that being said, I am Curious Corduroy. That is the video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Are you also staying away from the reviews? Are you just looking at maybe the Metacritic score? And have you yourself seen the photos of these leaked copies of Rebirth? Because they're out there and I've seen them, and oh boy, it's a good looking physical set. That's all I will say. But with that being said, I will see you guys in the next video. Please remember to always be excellent to one another.